Life update, what's up? May 12th, 2021. I think it's May 12th. Shit got real today, low key. Looking forward to the future, I think. Right now, a lot of people tell me like, "Ayo, Evan, that's bullshit. You're sad, you're depressed." And sometimes when I'm alone, I'm down about shit and I really wanted things to go the way I kind of thought they were, but like not everything goes as planned, right? Not everything's good. So I'm just gonna try and focus on me and work and get things going. If I'm more than a year in the future and I'm graduated, or at least I really hope I'm graduated by now. If not, good luck at graduation because I know that'll be coming up soon. I hope you got your diploma and I hope everything is good to go. I don't feel like that will work out. Just the vibe I'm getting and like looking into the future, I don't see that ever happening. However, I wish you good luck, and if that did manage to work out, then I'd be quite glad. But see ya.
So yeah, what I was saying about things not going as planned. It's been 2 years nearly since that video. It's been a year and a half, roughly. And things did not go as planned. No, they did not. In fact, the vast majority of things I had planned on doing or events I had hoped to happen just never did. And my life completely completely took a fucking U-turn after that one. Oh boy. What's going on, all you wonderful people? My name is Evan, and I am 20 years old. Now, it is a milestone, and it's cool that I'm no longer a teenager, but this video is not in any way me trying to preach about, oh, I hit a milestone in my life and now I am so much better than who I used to be before, and I'm so much more knowledgeable and wise, because I am not. I am still very young. I do not know a lot of things. There is still a lot of learning to do over the next however many years of my life, but this year has been one for the books. They're all one for the books. It's all in the books. It's all documented, whether I want to remember it or not. But this one has been a very different year for me. I feel like I've been spending the last 3 to 4 years of my life looking for, that adrenaline rush and looking for that next big thing. And this year was setting up to be that, with me being out of high school and with, the job I have now that I'm very lucky to have, and just a lot of the things and privileges that I had always wanted in my life, but they seem so far away. And I always thought like, hey, when I reach that point in time, when I am able to do what I want, when I'm able to, go out in the real world and figure out who I am, I'll know. I'll just know. And then this year rolls around and it's like, hey, that's cool. But you're going to sit in the background for a bit and really, really get to understand yourself a lot more. And those big things that you planned on happening, they're gonna have to wait because you are not ready. And that is something that was definitely weird to think about, but now it's just normal. it's very normal. I've been documenting my life for a while. Obviously I've made YouTube videos and that's cool and all, but when I don't upload, I still film, and I still like to sit down and talk to a camera and dump out how I feel, because it's one of the only ways I really know how. You know, talking to people is great, and I love sitting down and having a good conversation, but sometimes it's kind of hard for me to break that, like, filter, if you know what I'm saying, like the fact that you're talking to someone else, and like sometimes you just need to be alone to really be truthful, and talking to a camera who doesn't have any opinion and isn't gonna like chime in and like tell me I'm doing something wrong, or telling me, you know, where I should be or what I should be doing. Like it's just me, myself, and I, and you know, wherever I choose to put it is my business. And I like that. But it's also very nice to kind of have that time capsule where I can go back and I can see, okay, you know, a year and a half ago, I was really betting on certain things happening. And I was really, you know, dead set that this is how life is going to be in the future. And it just never unfolded that way. I've had a really bad problem for a long time now, where I have constantly been living in either the past or the future. And, you know, while it's sometimes good to, you know, sit down and think about where do I want to be down the road, it's also so fucking just, it catches you so off guard when you blink and you're there, you know? Like, you know, I'll give an example. Being someone in the IT field, I had planned for years how I was going to go about it. You know, I want to have this cert, and I want to be this knowledgeable on this topic and be ready for XYZ. And then, you know, I blinked, and now I'm here. Now I'm in that position. And I spent so much time planning out like how I should be doing it, that by the time I got to that point, I never actually went about that plan, because I was still trying to figure it out and figure myself out. That you just have to shift your whole mindset and really just, okay, well, I'm here, and I have to figure it out now. You know, there's no more time for planning. And that's been the theme of the year for me. Just, there's no more planning. And I tried to embrace that earlier on this year with the episode 1 video I put out, which, you know, my goal was to find balance in my life and start making content, because I enjoy making content, and I was just going to go out and press record and do it. And I ended up, after how that video was received, I ended up doing the exact opposite. Unsurprisingly, you know, it's the common X-Volt or Evan meme of quit YouTube for, you know, however many months, and then come back with a video about how I'm not going to quit YouTube anymore, and then proceed to quit YouTube. Like that has been a meme for years, and I understand there's so much truth in that. But it's so hard to break that mindset of like, I need to figure this out before I pull the trigger. I need to figure it out 100% before I start doing it. Otherwise, it's all gonna fall apart. And by approaching things with that mindset, I have always been led to the thing I was trying to avoid in the first place. So yeah, I've had a lot of time to think, and I've had a lot of time to live in the moment now. And I am trying my very best to just embrace it and just keep going, because every time I do, I realize more and more how much more positive of a mindset I have, and how much happier I am in my day-to-day life, not worrying about how I'm going to approach, you know, creating a video or tackling something at work, or, you know, talking to like a girl or what, like, you name it, you know, those things where you want to plan it out, but by planning it out, you just end up setting yourself up for failure. And maybe, maybe it's just like, I'm a very anxious person, and maybe it's directly related to that. I don't know. Like, I can only speak for myself. I don't know how other people think. Maybe other people are like, that's stupid. Like, how do you even think that way? But unfortunately, that's just how my brain is, and I have to learn how to navigate around that feeling and those habits. And it's getting easier. It is getting easier. That is the very good part about now. I've been doing this for months now. I've just been trying to shake every time something pops up where it really doesn't require 100% thought all the time, and I end up slipping back into it. I'm like, whoa, hold on. We're not going to think about that. We're just going to do. We're just going to do it. I tried planning for things so hard that it really, really hurt when they didn't work out. Like, I'll give you an example of at one of my lower points, I had planned to take psychedelics. And I wanted that to just be the point in time where I take them. And by taking shrooms, I was just going to switch my whole mindset up, and I'm finally going to be the person I want to be. Because, you hear great stories about people taking psychedelics, and then all of a sudden, their depression is better. Like, they're able to cope a lot better than they were before, or they're able to work through their trauma or their flaws, whatever the fuck it may be. And I had bet on that so hard that, like, okay, I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna take psychedelics. I'm gonna take time away from work, and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna figure this out. And it didn't change anything. It gave me more questions. It put me in another fucking pit of depression where I was just like, I couldn't figure it out. It was just like constantly, why is this not working out for me? Why is this not going as planned? Why am I fucking up at every single corner when I wasn't? I just wasn't. It was all in my head, and it's just because things are not so black and white. That has been the lesson I've learned over the past year or 2 or 3 or really 4, that I can remember, because, everything before that I was, fucking 16, 15, like everything before 16 years old, I don't really count, because it's just like, you're just fucking around. Not that I'm not just fucking around right now, and I'm going to look back on this in 6 years and be like, oh, that was real funny. He thought he was figuring it all out. I'm not going to be surprised if I end up with a fuckload more questions than I already have for life. But no, it's been years of trying to figure myself out. And I try to think very logically, like, oh, if I do this, then this will happen. If I do this and stick with this, then I'll finally have that. And it just doesn't work like that. And I think I'm finally ready to embrace that thought and move forward. I've been kicking myself so damn much the last month to just break myself out of that mindset, just constantly just, all right. Like, for example, I just took a full week off of work, which might not seem like a big thing, but I constantly fought with the idea of, like, okay, when I take time off work, it needs to be purposeful, and I need to plan it out, and I need to constantly just, like, figure out what I'm going to do at every single minute of the day before I pull the trigger on something like that. Not thinking like, dude, I just need to relax. Like, I really just need to stop thinking and just be me. And I have needed time to relax and to process things and just distance myself from all of the bullshit, whether it's, like the corporate world, or friends, or even making content on YouTube and filming. Like, I just need I need a real break. I don't need a break that's supposed to serve as this like giant turning point in my life. I don't need a break that needs to serve as like this giant YouTube grind session. I don't need a break because it's not a break at that point. I need a real break. I need a point in time where I can just kick back, be myself, and not stress. And just not stress. I have let stress eat me alive over the past couple years, and I feel like every time I think I'm getting better, it gets worse, and I let things from the past just fucking devour me for no reason. Like, they're done. It's over with. I need to move on. And it has just been so fucking hard. It has been so fucking hard. And I wish I could be like, you know, the logical part of my brain is like, oh, it's hard because of this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then where I'm at now, it's hard because I don't give myself space. It's hard because I don't give myself balance. It's hard because even when I want to find that, I still somehow find another reason to fucking get stressed out about it while I'm living it. Like, I can't maintain the balance. It sucks. So I'm really hoping that 20 years old brings me some peace of mind. I'm really hoping that now that I can sit back and just talk about myself and understand, like, you know, my behavior and, you know, how it's led me to this point, at least to some degree, in what I shouldn't be doing. I'm hoping that now I can finally find some comfort, you know, not comfort, but some quiet, some peace of mind, some real, like, all right, like, can the voices please stop? But yeah, the whole reason I'm making this video right now is because I found that video on my camera roll from my phone. It was 2 years ago. Well, I keep saying 2 years ago. It was a year and a half ago. I don't want to get ahead of myself. It was a year and a half ago. And I distinctly remember propping my phone up underneath my desk and recording it because I thought the Apple Watch like camera viewfinder feature was so cool, and I just needed to talk. And I'm so glad I did, because I think without if I didn't buy an Apple Watch that day, I wouldn't have recorded that. I didn't even think about it. It was one of those things where, all right, I didn't plan. I didn't think about, you know, setting up an angle or getting the mic ready or any of that stuff. I just hit record on my watch because it was cool, and I ended up with a time capsule that I can look back on 2 years later and break apart in something to help me kind of navigate through the world now. Even though the problems I had and the feelings I was experiencing back then are completely different, at least in terms of the subject, you know. But it's still the same idea. It's still the same idea of, like, I had my mind set on something, and I had really planned on things going my way, and they didn't, and it all fell apart. And back then I was waiting for something like that to happen again. I was waiting for another opportunity. I was able to finally get to a point where I can understand, or I could understand, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be thinking myself into a hole here, and I should just kind of, you know, go with the flow. And unfortunately, the events that took place after led me even deeper into the wrong mindset. It's just very hard to trust things will go well when they repeatedly haven't in the past. And that's life. That's just life. That's my conclusion at this point, is if I don't go with the flow and I don't get over that barrier, then I'm going to lose out on experiences that I know I'll enjoy and that I know will be core memories to me that will help move me forward as a person. If I don't just go with it, then I'm never going to become who I want to be. So yeah, I guess that's a pretty good conclusion. We'll see if I want to film anything tomorrow, because I have a lot of time. I accidentally opened up Clone Hero on my laptop. This was not the vibe I was going for.